my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'm joined with my friend who is not quite himself today. He's a little rough. He's recovering from a cold. So please be nice to the guy.
Yeah, so I hope Alan has been kind to me and I haven't got five amazing Spider-Man comics to talk about.
Okay, so it's gonna be a rough day for Mark. But yeah, so we're gonna be looking at the hottest Silver Age of the week from Heritage Auctions. And Mark is going to be a very unhappy camper, but we're going to try to make him happy with some of the first books on this list. So let's see what we got here.
What's this first one? Oh, okay. I've never seen that before.
So I put this one on the list because it's a very interesting book. Actually, I think I have a copy of this book. Or maybe I might have been on
Well, it's
one
your
before.
type of book. It's your type of book, Alan. It's got scantily clad female in
Yeah.
hazardous situation.
So this is the South Sea Girl. So what it is it's a publisher called IW. And it's more about the publisher than the book itself. So they also go by Super Quality or Super Comics. They have a bunch of iterations of their name, but it's
I mean, it doesn't
IW.
say the publisher on the cover, does it?
Yeah, it says right there, Super Quality or something like that.
Oh, seal of quality, Super Comics.
Super Comics, yeah. So the point is, this publisher, what they did was when the golden age kind of ended and a lot of publishers went kind of belly up, like overnight, they went around buying all the print material. So they went around to the different factories where they're producing these comics, and they literally bought the press stuff. Okay.
Okay,
Now
so
they didn't
it's
buy the rights to the
like a fire sale. They sort of bought stuff really cheap.
fire sale, and they bought all this stuff. Okay, but what they did was they didn't buy the rights to the comics themselves.
Okay.
Okay, they just bought the stuff to print or to make
Yeah.
the comics.
Yeah.
And then what they did is they put their own covers and then reprinted material that was from the golden age.
Right.
So they would put their own cover on and slap it. Okay.
So this cover, so
it's
the
a very
cover doesn't have
interesting
anything to
publisher.
do. So the cover doesn't have anything to do with what's in the comic, then.
Generally, no. Sometimes, so sort of relevant, semi-relevant stuff. So the point is, like, what they would do this in order to kind of get away with a lot of stuff. But their comics are, they are reprints. And generally they're very inexpensive because they were massively printed. And this is a pretty big sale for this kind of thing. This is one of the more popular covers because it is the sexy girl on the cover, but it is, as I said, it's a reprint. But I think a lot of collectors are becoming aware of IW and some of the cool covers that they came up with, and some of the cool, just their weird quirkiness as a publisher. So let's see how this one performed.
Right.
This is fantastic.
It's sold for 264. It's not graded.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have a look at well, there's none of these, Alan. There's nothing to compare it against because there's only one graded copy, two graded copies.
Okay, so let's take a look at what a 7.0 would go for
Well,
example.
7.0 went for $16 in 2011.
Yeah, so that's typically how much these books go for. They go for around, in mid-grade, usually around 20 to 30 bucks. Okay. And what did Heritage say that the grade was?
They said it was a VF minus, which would be a 7.5, so that's not on here.
Okay, so we're probably, this is
it's Matt Baker. It says here it's Matt Baker, artist.
Yeah, so that's what. So as I was saying, the cover would be somebody else. So Seven Seas was done by Matt Baker. He was the artist for it. So this would be like Seas content with some different cover on it.
Right. Okay.
If that makes sense.
Got it.
So it is Matt Baker art
inside.
inside. Yes.
Okay.
So kind of a cool book.
Well, interesting. I mean,
Um,
I've never come across that's a new
and
story to me, Alan. I like to hear stuff like this.
okay, okay.
I
So
was
yeah,
unaware of these
there's
people.
actually a few. There's actually a few comics that they published, and I actually have a few of them, where they were never actually published before. So the publisher had gone out of business before they could print the latest issue. And so when they published it, actually it is a first printing of that story.
Okay.
So kind of some cool things like that. There's some fun stuff with this publisher.
All right. Interesting. I've never come across them before at all. Never seen this in the UK. I presume they didn't distribute in the UK. This would have been just for the US market. So,
Just for a US market, yeah. I'm actually surprised that nobody sued them in their career of producing these silly comics.
who's going to sue them? The companies that have just gone out of business. They haven't got any
Yeah,
money.
exactly. Yeah, they don't have money for
They haven't
anything.
got any money for legal fees. Uh,
Yeah.
okay. So next up, I've heard of this one. In fact, I've got
Mhm.
one of these in a 4.0. Mine
This
is
one
a
on the list.
4.0, so it's slightly lower grade than this.
Oh, okay. So this gives you a sense of how much it's
Yeah,
worth.
so I've got this
So
listed.
this is Detective Comics 359.
Yeah, first appearance
Yeah.
of Batgirl,
First Batwoman.
Batwoman, sorry,
Batgirl, I mean.
Batgirl, sorry, yeah, Batgirl, not Batwoman. And
Batgirl, you're right. Yeah.
Batgirl, meet the new Batgirl. So you can see here this has got a checkerboard cover. And Batgirl came about because this is when the Batman
Yeah.
television series was on. And the producers of the series,
Mhm.
they said to the comic people, "We need a new female character. Um, can you put Batgirl into the comic?" So this character is and this issue is entirely due to the television series.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, so I think she actually appeared in the television series first, right?
I think she did. Yeah, I think she appeared in the TV series, and they said she's quite popular. Can you put her in the comic?
I
Uh,
mean, the Batgirl in the TV series was, the girl who played her, I'm not sure who played her, but she was very sexy and, it was very cool character. I liked the Batman series. I thought it was,
oh, it was
very
great fun.
goofy. It was goofy, but really I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Um, so
So
this
this Carmine
is near the
Infantino
end of the
cover.
checkerboard era, by the way. It was
Yeah,
66 to 67. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Really nice.
Carmen, yeah.
Great comic. It's so I think this has gone down, and I'll tell you why. Because my 540, I've got valued at 500. So for 45, it's sold for 504. I suspect that's down. So
Yeah, so this is one of the books that did go up during COVID.
there it is.
You'll,
Yeah, it did go up, and it's
I
come
knew
back
that.
down. It's
It's
now
come,
at just about the same price it was at pre-COVID.
yeah, actually, maybe even lower. It looks like the trend line is kind
Yeah.
of like a little
Yeah,
bit low,
maybe a bit
actually.
lower because that just sold for 504 and pre-COVID 534. So this has gone through the floor a bit. Um,
So somebody got a pretty good deal on this one, I would say.
yeah,
Um,
504 I think is a good price.
how many graded copies are there?
Oh,
I
it's
mean, this is
quite a
one
lot
where
of
there should be
this.
more than normal.
Yeah, this for DC, this is quite big. So 3336.
Yeah, so that just shows you how the popularity of the show. I mean, you were mentioning this before, but the rate of returns was almost like it was only like 20% at this
Yeah,
point,
very
or
low
very
during this
low rate of
period.
return.
Yeah, when the movie
Yeah.
was on.
So yeah, so
Right.
when you have that, I mean, there's going to be lots of copies of this, and when you have a comic that literally says "introduction of a new character" on the cover, a lot of people
Yeah,
would
well,
keep that book.
exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah, so
so
it's an
there's going to
eye-catching
be a lot
cover
of
as
copies of it.
well. So great cover for a first appearance.
Yeah, it's a great one. I love these things.
So yeah, I
Mm,
love this comic. It's one of my
yeah.
favorites. I'll be keeping hold of my copy until it all goes back up again. Right. Well, I'm still keeping hold of it. It's a keeper. Right. Next up. Oh, this is a comic I haven't seen before. Doc Savage #1, Gold Key,
Yeah,
1960 something, 1966. So this is the same sort of era as that Batgirl comic. Um,
yeah. This is a high grade too. I like 9.4.
yes, you never
Really cool
see
cover
these.
too. I like this.
It's all right, isn't it? Yeah, good snake cover.
Yeah,
Um, Doc Savage, is he like, I think he's like Tarzan. Was he Ryder Haggard character? He's certainly an old character, isn't he? It was,
he's a very old character. I think he actually came out in the pulps.
yeah, yeah,
So he's been around for a long time. Um, but I just thought this one was really interesting because it is Doc Savage #1. It's a gold key. Gold keys were notorious for just getting destroyed because they were
yeah,
red, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and really high grade. Um, and
Well,
for
$1,000 for this.
seems like a good deal actually, even
Well, I'm not sure
not.
how many people collect Doc Savage. Let's have a look. Oh,
It's a
right, that's a
reasonably well known.
record. It's a record. There are only four of these. There's only 128 on the census total. Only four in this grade, and that is much higher than the previous sale, which was
What was the previous sale?
456 a year ago. And
Oh
that's
wow!
and
So that's
that's
a recent jump. I mean,
yeah,
that's not like
so
oh, it's
that's
sold
that's a
sold
jump
20
in the
years
last
ago.
a year. So if you bought this a year ago for 456, you've done well. You've doubled your money.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I would have thought it would be like a reasonable price. I mean, $1,000
Is
for
it the
something
same
where,
copy? Is it the same? Let's have a look.
yeah,
Uh,
you can see. I sometimes check that too. The number.
yeah, what's the number on this? This is the previous one. Uh, it ends in 6005. And this one, it's the same copy. I think it's, no, it's not. No, it's not the same copy. It doesn't end in 6005. No, it's a different copy. But
Yeah, but
still,
still.
yeah, not bad though.
And there's only how many on the census?
128.
128. Wow. So I mean that just shows you. I mean, it's a rare book. This is like one of the highest grade copies. Yeah, I mean it's I think I don't know. Actually, I think that's a fair price, believe it or not, that $1,000.
You think so? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
I
so.
think the next sale will be lower than that. I think that somebody's overpaid for that.
Well, based on history, yes. But I don't know. It seems like, how often would you see one of these in like that high of a
Well,
grade?
rarely. I mean, is there a higher grade? Yes, there is. There's 596s.
Yeah. So this is the second highest graded copy in terms of like overall, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And actually the 9.6 sold for 1,300. So
yeah. A year ago.
this sale isn't much lower than that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody overpaid, but it's still look, I think it's cool. I think it's really cool book.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, now here we
Yeah.
go. This is
All
one of
right.
my favorite covers of all time.
I really love this cover too. And do you know that this is a cover swipe
Yeah, you've told me this.
from
Yes. Yeah,
yeah, Golden Age comic cut it. Yeah,
a beauty. Look at
the
this.
original vision. And this one is
Signed
like,
by
signed
Stan Lee, and we've got
signed by
a
Stan Lee and
custom
special
label.
custom label. So, that's actually why it's on the list because I always like to track
And
how much a signature is worth. You know what I mean?
it's a
I always
reasonable
like to see
placement.
like how
Usually
much does that
Stan, yeah, it's a reasonable placement, isn't
yeah,
it? Because usually Stan pays no attention to where he's
where
signing.
and this is perfect. It's within that cloud
Yeah.
of dust or whatever it is. I'm not sure what that is. But it's a good placement. You're right. And looks like a really sharp copy. I
Well,
mean,
it's an
it
8.0.
is a high grade. It's like an 8.0, but I mean, it's got really good colors. I mean, though,
Yeah,
it's
it
just
hasn't
really
faded
nice.
at all.
Um,
Very nice. How much did this sell for? Oh, I thought it would go for more than that.
so yeah, so this is Avengers 57, first appearance of the Vision, for $1,140, a signed copy. So that is a little bit surprising. Like usually Stan Lee's signature goes for 300 or 400 just by itself.
So
Yeah.
the last signed copy went in January 2020 for 1,600. So this is 500 down.
Which is not that bad, actually, because that's a COVID peak. You
Yeah,
can see that's
it's
shot.
more than pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
It just shot up. I mean, I think that was an outlier sale during.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that
You take
you can
that one
almost say
out.
that that was an outright. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it's right online.
yeah, yeah. Nice
So
copy.
yeah, so this is
And how much does the
regular
standard
go for.
sell for? How much was standard signature worth? So,
Yeah, that's a good.
so
That's always a cool question.
well, a standard signature is worth. Well, the last one of these sold for 619. So standard signature is worth about 500 there.
Wow. So his signature has gone up in value.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I usually estimate his signature be worth 300 to 400, and yeah, so for it to sell for 500 is pretty good rate of return on your signatures.
Yeah, it was a nice looking copy though of that Vision
Yeah,
8.
no, it was a very nice copy.
So it
How
might
many
not
other?
just be about the signature, it might be about the quality of the copy as well, because it looked very good at 8.0 to me.
Yeah, how many of these on the census?
um, well, all grade 6170, signed 595.
Wow, that's a lot of signed copies. I mean, that's, I mean, that's almost as many signed copies as many of the DC books that we'll see. You know, like
Well, how
where
many of
it's like,
those Doc Samsons were there? 128
yeah,
total.
So, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it just gives you a perspective of how common Marvel books are.
I know, but if I was going to go to a convention and get Stan to sign something, that would be in my collection of 5 or 6 books I'd have taken with me to get him to sign.
Yeah, I think Fantastic Four or Spider-Man would be like the big two that
Yeah,
they would people get, right? Um, yeah, so just a cool book. I thought it was like I'm always curious about how well those signature ones perform because you're not just buying the book itself, you're buying the signature. So yeah, I think that was interesting. So
I just bought
uh,
Stan. I bought a Stan Lee signed um, Fantastic Four annual one at
oh
Heritage.
nice.
Three,
Yeah,
few,
yeah, yeah.
it's about $400. So if Stan's signature's worth 500, I'm quids in.
Yeah. Yeah, basically you did well. That isn't that crazy? Like that you got the book for free and you just paid for his signature.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Our fifth one is, oh, I've never seen this before, Alan. This is a new one on me.
Yeah, so this is Adventure Comics. I forgot the issue number, but
Three-one-seven
it's the first appearance of that girl, Dream
Dream
Girl.
Girl.
Yeah.
Never heard of.
And oh, she's kind of a weird character because later on they make her a man and girl. So she's considered to be the first trans character.
Okay.
But she's in this she's female. Just so you
So
know.
she has she reduced all these superheroes to children?
I think
Oh,
so,
that's right.
yes.
Bouncing baby, shrinking child, and ultra kid. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
I like the cover. That's good. I like that. I've never seen that one before. I quite like it.
Yeah, I actually like it because of different reasons. I always like these kind of good girl art covers generally.
Yeah.
Um So yeah, especially if it's in a weird title like Superman, I find that interesting. So this is a
Yeah.
9.4.
Nine
So
four,
it's a really
so
nice copy of it.
high
Like
grade. I bet there
mine,
isn't a
my I
load of
might
these.
have a
There won't be
3.0
many of
of this.
these at 9.4. 2,160.
Oh no, I wouldn't imagine.
It's holding flat. Uh, and
Yeah,
there's only 7 copies. Yeah.
it's very flat actually, a little bit down. Not much.
Yeah, not much. So, and there's only
7 copies in a
79 of these on the
9.4. How
census.
many total?
79.
Oh wow,
Really low.
wow, that is really low census count.
For
I
a s-
mean, mine's ungraded, but yeah, I mean it's cool to see. I'm surprised that it's so low, like just so
yeah.
flat. It's like just not going anywhere. Um, she's not a character that most people know, so but it is, it's kind of a quirky character.
Yeah, and it's
She
quite,
did make many appearances. She's not like an abandoned character or anything like that. So,
okay. Well, it's holding its value. And there's only 78 of them. So I hope if I find one of those in the wild, I'll be happy.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to know about these books, I find. Like even
Yeah.
if you just because it is a key that does have some value. And the funny thing is like I remember like going through a comic store and they had the first polka dot man. And I could have picked it up for like $30 and it was like a fairly high grade. I kind of kicked myself for not doing it because I already had a copy. So I was like, do I really want to, spend more money to buy another copy of it?
And
But
it's a
just
centenary
having that knowledge.
issue. It's a centenary issue as well as Polka Dot Man one. I think was it Detective Comics 300, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For Polka Dot Man, yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. So it's like got a whole bunch of things going for it. Actually, I like the cover of Polka Dot Man too. I loved. He was the best character in Suicide Squad too. So
Yeah, he
I
was.
I, I wish I picked up that copy now. Now I feel a little bit worse about not picking up a second copy of it. But well,
Because
but
I
Dream
tried
Girl is
to
a
pick
cool
up all.
character
Yeah.
that she's kind of a quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I only became aware of her because I found this list of top sexiest women in comics, and she was in there somewhere. I forgot what she was rated as, but so I've been trying to get every single one of the top sexiest women in comics. Um, so I had to get her first appearance. So just quirky things I do. So yeah, that's it for this part of this video where reveal my dark secrets. And the next part, if you want to see more and the big books, the books that Mark really loves, they're on Mark's channel. So just click the link in the description below and go over to Mark's
Yeah.
channel and watch the
Alan,
top 5 of the week.
Alan, I got some bad news for you. It is not
But
a very well kept secret that you like sexy women on comics.
really, I thought I came across as being very pure and very like innocent. Okay. Oh well. Bye everyone.
Like,